Good evening, FSU, and welcome to Friday's Halloween weekend edition of FSU Weather. Right now, we're looking at some mostly cloudy skies, a pretty nice sunset after those clouds came through, 65 degrees and sunny in Tallahassee. Current temps are sitting beautifully in the 60s. Again, 65 in Tallahassee, 66 Crawford, the warmest being 67 in St. Mark's, which is still very comfortable for the Big Bend area. We are also seeing wonderful responses for our Muggy meter, smiles across the board, Pensacola, Tallahassee, and Gainesville. Something that we love to see. A little bit muggy as we go further south, but for the northern parts of Florida, we are loving it. Tonight, it's going to be 49 degrees, definitely cooler, partly cloudy with 4-mile-per-hour winds. Tonight's headlines, we are looking at the game tomorrow, Clemson, FSU, chilly Halloween weekend, and spot the spider. If you see a spider, tally it. We're going to give you those tallies at the end of the show.
Edition of FSU Weather. Segment, you can expect to see a few spiders spot up on your screen. We'll give you the tally towards the end of the segment, and that is something to expect. Also, really honestly, great conditions overall. Very beautiful weather that we've seen today. Especially this evening. Of course, this morning we started off pretty cloudy. I was walking to my classes and was expecting to see a little more precipitation, but thankfully we just had a few spurts and sprinkles throughout the day, and we're really just cooling down now. Quite beautiful conditions, which is in contrast to what we saw earlier this week with those humid conditions, warm conditions before that cold front came through. But with everything swinging through, we've had a more beautiful weather, and so now we'll take a closer look at the local with Aaron.
That is right, Chandler. Very, very comfortable day today if you are a fall weather lover, as I certainly am. 65 degrees under, I would say, mostly cloudy skies here over Doak Campbell Stadium at FSU. We have winds out of the west-southwest at 11 miles per hour, so a great evening to be outside today. Our current radar pretty much shows a few showers over down towards perhaps Appalachian Bay, into the Gulf of Mexico, just south of Tallahassee, but nothing at all, and at least significant in our area to worry about this evening. And our current temperatures across the area are comfortable 60 degrees, 65 in Tallahassee, 62 in Thomasville. Very, very nice weather this evening. Very nice to get outside and enjoy the weather. Our current wind speed and direction, we do have fairly light winds out of the, at least out of the west-southwest at about 7 to 9 miles per hour. It was definitely a little bit breezy out there today. We actually had a wind advisory for Tallahassee area. So certainly keep that in mind going out the door. We have 50s across the board for our dew points. So that's our feeling, or how that's the moisture in the atmosphere. And certainly it was a very, very nice day today in the 50s after that departure of the cold front yesterday that brought us a little bit of rain and actually a little bit of severe weather too. Right? Our future radar pretty much shows nice conditions overnight tonight. We do have probably some filtered clouds coming in. Tomorrow should be a little bit sunnier than today, but still there might be a few cloudy clouds coming in from the northwest. And again, maybe an isolated shower, especially off to our northwest, but certainly nothing significant in the Tallahassee metro area. Tonight's forecast, we pretty much see low 50s across the board. Maybe you can squeeze in an upper 40, maybe perhaps in southwest Georgia, but still very, very comfortable night, very comfortable fall night, I should say, as we go to the tail end of October. Tonight in Talla is a spooky 49 degrees out there tonight, so very, very comfortable. You might need a light jacket if you do go out the door today, or tonight, I should say, and we do have a light wind from the west-northwest at 4 miles per hour. Our beach forecast tomorrow, we do have some pretty cooler air for the beach, certainly. We have air temperature over Panama City tomorrow will be in the 60s, and water will be also in the upper 70s, so the water actually will feel warmer than the air over the land tomorrow. And of course, we do have conserve at 1 foot tomorrow. And as we look at the week ahead, you can see pretty much nice conditions across the area. You can see 60s as we get into our weekend, in the low 70s. And as we get into really much next week, you can see pretty much highs will pretty much be in the mid-70s, but certainly a very, very nice way to wrap up the week as we get into the following week. So,
thank you so much, Aaron. That is a great forecast that we're looking at ahead for Tallahassee. But as we see for the rest of Florida, we're going to look at Panama City Beach right now. We can see the sky coverage, as we can see. The clouds are a little bit spotted over here, but overall it's going to look really beautiful down in Panama City right now. The satellite and radar are showing us that those clouds are passing through Tallahassee, passing through Panama City Beach with a little bit of those spotted showers like we had seen this morning and early in the afternoon. As that rain continues to move through, now we're going to be seeing those colder temperatures that we've all been waiting to see. So those rain is going to move right through, and we're going to keep seeing that as well in Central Florida. So that rain is going to push right through from the west and then bring us those colder temperatures that we are really excited to see. However, in South Florida, it's not going to be as fortunate for them. As you can tell, we're not seeing any of that rain down here. So they're going to be seeing those temperatures that they're unfortunately very used to, those 80 degrees. No cold front for them this time. So that rain will not be hitting them as long as those clouds will not be hitting them either. The current temperatures right now, Pensacola, we're seeing 63 degrees. Tallahassee is 67, and there's that spider we've been waiting to see all night. Jacksonville, we're going to be seeing 67 degrees as well. Gainesville, 68, and as I said, we're going to see those hotter temperatures, 84 down in Miami, 86 in Fort Myers, and 87 in West Palm Beach. The Muggy meter is showing us those smiles that we're so excited to see here in Tallahassee, which means the conditions are going to be very dry and not muggy. Also in Pensacola, we're seeing those smiley faces. Everywhere here in North Florida, we're seeing the happy weather and the happy dew points. But over here in Miami and Key West, not as fortunate. They're going to be seeing those muggy temperatures, keeping it nice in the 80s for them and not part of that cold front. The future radar is going to be showing us that rain moving through with that spotted cloud coverage throughout, and they're going to be pushing through right through here and seeing those cold temperatures persist throughout the night. Tonight in Tallahassee, we're going to be seeing that low hit 48 degrees, so make sure you are dressing appropriately. We are starting the Halloween fun right here in Tallahassee, so make sure you are dressed appropriately and you do not want to freeze throughout that. As we move throughout, we're going to be seeing the 60s, which is really nice for Central Florida. They've been in those 80s, and down here in Miami, we're going to be seeing a 66 and 74 in Key West tonight. Tomorrow's highs, we're going to be seeing 68 in Tallahassee, which is beautiful conditions. Head out to the pumpkin patch while it's still Halloween weekend. 70 degrees in Jacksonville. A little bit windy down in Key West tomorrow with the 81. Nice and sunny in Miami with that 82 degrees. So overall in Florida tomorrow, we're going to be seeing beautiful conditions all throughout. Miami, we're seeing those temperatures stay in the 80s right here. The low 80s, at least, it's not the high 80s, with not rain chance in sight. In Tampa, we're going to be seeing that rain on Saturday, but as we continue through, we're going to be seeing that temperature move right throughout. Orlando, same thing. We're going to be seeing those temperatures move on through. And with Jacksonville, we're going to be seeing those temperatures really be as beautiful as they can be with those mid-70s throughout the day. And now we're going to be taking it off to Chandler.
Thank you so much for that, Hannah. Now we're going to take a look at the weather going on across the southeast. Of course, the weather's been quite consistently cool across most of the southern region. You can see here in Gainesville, they're probably our warmest at 66 degrees. They haven't partaken in that beautiful weather, and they won't because they're in the pits of hell. So we're taking a look also at Blacksburg, Virginia, which is at 57 degrees, and of course Atlanta taking part in those 50-degree temperatures that are a little bit on the wet side, because of this big, huge cutoff low that is providing a decent amount of light but cold rain. Of course, cold rain is probably the worst kind of rain, but you have this nice, huge system that's really dumping a lot of rain onto Tennessee, Kentucky, and portions of Georgia, and even upwards towards Ohio River Valley, Cincinnati. You guys are taking quite a lot of rain on in the last couple hours, and you guys will continue to see that until the cutoff low starts to swing its way out towards the Atlantic. The current temperatures, well, we have 68 in Little Rock, and then down here close to 68 as well here in Tallahassee. We start to see those warmer temperatures once you start making your way down the Florida Peninsula. And wind direction, well, we can see that there's that wind coming out of the southwest for middle portions of the southeastern region, but we have Little Rock sitting at northwestern flow, 13 miles per hour. Dew points, quite the contrast to what you can normally see for this for the southeast, typically during the summer. Of course, now with fall coming in, we are finally starting to see those cool, dry conditions. 46 in Little Rock, 42 in Shreveport. With water vapor, we can also see very dry conditions across most of the northern Gulf, but with that cutoff low, you can see a little more of that moisture in the atmosphere. With future radar, this cutoff low will finally make its way across and close to the Carolinas before going north towards the mid-Atlantic and out of our viewing area. For tonight's lows, you can expect 50s and 40s for the most part, 49 here in Little Rock again. But once you look east, southeast, you can see 49 here in Tallahassee. So we'll be on the cooler side across the region. Taking a look closer to the peninsula, you can also expect warmer conditions once you get down towards Miami, Tampa, and of course Key West. For tomorrow's highs, we can expect very beautiful conditions again, rinse and repeat for the next few days. In fact, 73 in Shreveport, quite beautiful conditions. 68 here in Tallahassee. I'm quite pleased with those results. And also we have 70 in Jacksonville. So overall, quite beautiful conditions, and they'll stick around for the weekend and going into Halloween. So of course, quite the best way to celebrate a great and spooky holiday. And now I'll toss things to Becca.
It is a great way to celebrate a spooky holiday. We are going to look a little bit more at what the rest of the country is going to be seeing. So this is what we are currently looking at for the country, for our surface map. You'll see that low pressure that Chandler was talking about, the cutoff low that is bringing so much moisture into the central Midwest, as well as a low pressure cold front coming in, bringing a mix of rain and snow, if you can believe that, into the Northwest. Again, here's the same thing without those front covers. You can really see the precipitation amount now. Lots of precipitation over here in the central Midwest, as well as a mix of rain and snow further north, which for October, that's something that's hard for me to believe. So we're zooming in here now into Washington, Oregon, Montana, and Idaho. You'll see that coming down from Canada into the northern portion of the United States, that rain is turning into a mix of snow right in here, as you can see. So we're looking at some really chilly and potentially snowy Halloween weekend for folks that are up in the Northwest. So definitely be prepared for that if you happen to be there. Some of you might be really looking forward to it, some of you not so much. So definitely be prepared if you're in an area where it could be between rain and snow. There's lots of hazards that come when things start to mix. Moving forward to this cutoff low pressure system that is centered in our central Midwest right now. You'll see Cincinnati looks to be in the center of it, getting just hammered with rain, as well as Toronto up here with a few more storms. For the most part, it looks like it's mostly rain with some scattered showers in the U.S. Again, Toronto has some heavier storms up there, but this is going to be continuing and persisting until that low pressure pushes further east into the Atlantic. So if you happen to be, it looks like right along I-75 from all the way up in northern Michigan down to Atlanta, be prepared for some definitely heavy rain and persistent rain. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Over in Texas and the Southwest, things are dry as compared to the last two segments we have looked at. Things are very dry. They're definitely getting some nicer weather with some sun after that front pushed through in the eastern part of Texas and Louisiana. So things are starting to dry up. There is actually a high pressure sitting just south of Denver, which is causing that nice dry air, low cloud cover, wonderful things for that area. For our satellite, for the future radar, again, we are waiting for things to push east. So you'll see there's lots of precipitation centered with the front that is in the north. And again, precipitation will move out as that low pressure moves into the Atlantic. For big picture, things are finally starting to cool down. 82 is the warmest in Miami, and things aren't too cool yet. In the north, we're looking at 50 in Seattle, 54 in Detroit, 50 in Boston. Wonderful temps for most of the U.S. right now. For our 8 to 14-day temp outlook, unfortunately, we are moving back into the above average area in Tallahassee. Luckily, we are not super far above average like some of other northern portions. However, we haven't quite made it into the below average, which would grant us some much cooler temps that I know a lot of people are looking forward to. For our dew points, again, you'll see this front clearly defined as that cold front pushes through. It is making its way, so we are not super moist right now, but definitely nowhere near as dry as that high pressure centered just above Texas. So we will take those low dew points, not crazy dry though. For our wind speeds, winds are not too terrible, the highest being 26 in Dallas. Aside from that, we're looking at 18 in Memphis, 23 in Billings. So aside from those three outliers, things are fairly regular. Our drought monitor is regularly focused in that area. And for tonight's temperatures, going to be super nice tonight, and we are looking for a wonderful weekend. I'm going to hand things off to Aaron. He's going to give us a look at what's happening in the tropics, I believe.
That is right, Becca. Very, very quiet across the tropics today. You can see that we do have one more name left on the list. We have Wanda, but not looking likely right now with that area off to the northern Atlantic, which I'll show here in a bit. And of course, we also have our supplemental name list as well. We no longer have the Greek alphabet. So if we do get to this, then our first name on the list would be Adria to start off. Temperatures across the Atlantic, very, very warm. We have 80 degrees across pretty much most of the Atlantic, or I should say the southern half of the Atlantic, maybe even a few 90s probably towards the Caribbean. So very, very nice conditions, at least in terms of the tropics. So nothing to worry about. No active systems over that warm water, which is a key ingredient for active tropical development. Again, very, very quiet across the Atlantic. You can see there are a few clouds across the the western, far western Atlantic. That was associated with that cold front that came in earlier this week. Infrared satellite, same deal. That's that cold front right there, and then that low pressure mid-latitude cyclone, but that is not tropical in nature. There's our area we are watching, but 30% chance of development. So certainly not likely to happen, and so we'll turn things over to Hannah.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a look closer to home right now with the local temperatures, and Almanac 55 is going to be the low tonight with a high of 67, which is a little bit off from what we're seeing with that low in 29 degrees in 2008. So that's not really what we want to see on Halloween. Would it be really fitting for your costumes? So we're glad we're going to be seeing more ideal temperatures for this Halloween weekend. A live look at Doak Campbell Stadium. We're seeing that sun start to set over here. 65 degrees and sunny with winds coming out of the west-southwest at 8 miles per hour. So it's really a beautiful day out there tonight. The current radar is showing that that rain has almost passed through Tallahassee. We're not going to be seeing any of those rainy conditions for the rest of the evening, and just those cooler temperatures that we've been waiting on all week after all that muggy weather has left us. The hour by hour, we started off this morning at 56 degrees, and we persisted almost throughout the day. Now we're in the mid-60s. We're seeing those temperatures really be perfect for what we wanted today and for this Halloween weekend. The current temperatures right now, 57 in Thomasville, 61 in Madison, 63 right here in Tallahassee, and we're seeing those mid-60s overall throughout the region. The muggy meter, once again, we're seeing a happy, smiling face for Tallahassee. It's really exciting to see at this time of year with those muggy temperatures all the way down to the low for us. Pensacola is also seeing that smiley face, but unfortunately down in Miami and Key West, they don't get to be a part of the fun. They're going to be staying nice and muggy for the rest of this weekend. Tonight's forecast, 51 degrees in Tallahassee tonight, 54 in St. Mark's, 52 in Perry. So we're staying in the mid-50s and the low 50s throughout the night. So make sure you are dressing accordingly. Make sure you are bringing your bigger jackets out because it is no longer those hot temperatures. The future radar is showing us that those clouds are moving throughout the region, leaving those showers behind as we saw this morning and later this afternoon. We're going to be leaving those behind us and seeing those clouds persist throughout the day. The beach forecast, however, we're going to be seeing 68 in Panama City Beach with the water being at 79 degrees. So it's a perfect day to get out to the beach and maybe do a jog or pick some shells. It might be a little chilly for the water for you, normal South Florida people like myself, so you might want to just enjoy the beach in the dry end of it. Tonight in Tallahassee, it's going to be 49 degrees, mostly clear. It's going to be one of the chillier nights that we haven't seen recently here in Tallahassee. We're seeing those fall temperatures now as we move through the weekend. The week ahead, we're going to be seeing beautiful temperatures, I would say. 69 degrees tomorrow is the high with a low of 50. And as we move throughout the week, we're going to stay through those 70s and see those sunny skies continue on with us. We're leaving that rain behind. It's really exciting to see with those lows all throughout the mid-50s for the rest of the week. So ideal temperatures for the rest of this beautiful week. And now we're going to be passing it off to see some new weather.
Thank you, Hannah. The last thing that I'm going to be looking at tonight is our sports. We have so many different games and matches and meets going on this weekend. I'm going to tell you what's going to be happening with those. Currently, again, 65 degrees. You see the sun has finally started to set over Doak Campbell Stadium. I love a cloudy sunset, I'm not going to lie. Always makes the prettiest colors. Volleyball tonight, we are playing Boston. So tonight's going to be 64 degrees. It's going to drop a little bit cooler, 62 and 59, so it's definitely going to be cooler when you're leaving the game. You might be okay when you're getting there, but you might want a light jacket when you are leaving the game, hopefully after a victory. Dew points, it's not going to be too muggy. That humidity is not something you're going to have to worry about this weekend. It's going to be super nice for us, so not muggy, not humid, nothing sticky, again, which is going to make it probably feel a little bit colder. Nothing's going to be here to warm us up, so again, definitely a light jacket would be beneficial. For women's swimming and diving against North Florida, if you happen to want to go see our Seminoles swim, we're looking at 1 p.m., 63 degrees, 65 degrees at 2 p.m., and 66 at 3 p.m. Perfect weather outside. Again, if you are going to see the Seminole swim and dive, swim meets are in an indoor heated area, so it's definitely going to be 75, 80 indoors. So a little bit of mixed attire for your attending purposes and actually watching the meet. For the men's swimming and diving, same time, 1 p.m., 63 degrees, 2 p.m., 65 degrees, and 3 p.m., 66 degrees. Again, it is going to be much warmer inside once you're in the complex, especially if you're sitting down. Things tend to heat up fairly quickly. For our future radar, again, those clouds and showers are moving out of the area, so we're not going to be worrying about those as much as we have been since that low pressure passed through and with that cold front. So it's not going to be something that we're going to be really watching over the next few days. The biggest event of the weekend, we are looking at our football game against Clemson at Clemson. 3 p.m., 60 degrees, 5 p.m., 58, and 7 p.m., 56 degrees. For a 3:30 kickoff, I personally feel this is the perfect fall weather to be watching that game. I would love to be there. Unfortunately, I will be here watching it from home where we'll be seeing very similar temps. Those dew points are hopefully going to be low, though, for Clemson and the Seminoles as well. And a little bit of rain, but nothing that we should be watching too much. I'm going to hand things over to Aaron. He's going to give us one last look at what we can expect this weekend.
That is right. As we move towards our Halloween, starting off the weekend, you can see very, very nice conditions over Doak Campbell Stadium. We have a nice sunset coming up soon here in Tallahassee, and we have that nice temperature, 65 degrees under mostly cloudy skies, I would say, with a nice west-southwest wind at 8 miles per hour. Our current radar pretty much shows nothing, at least nothing much to speak of, perhaps a few showers down towards Big Bend coast, but really nothing of note across the area. For our Monster Mash forecast, we can see 49 degrees under mostly clear skies. Wind will be out of the west-northwest at 4 miles per hour. And that's the live look at current radar over Tampa. You can see there are a few showers moving by the area. You can see a few showers are now over towards downtown here and then over towards Pinellas County in Tampa, but certainly they're just quick and spotty in nature. And for our dog walk forecast over towards tomorrow, you can see nice conditions, 50 degrees, and it'll be a nice warm up down up to 60 degrees by around noon. So certainly pleasant if you want to walk that dog, perhaps walk the dog around the pumpkin patch. Very, very nice conditions. For our trunk or treat forecast in Tallahassee at the Civic Center, you can see 67 degrees on Halloween under mostly clear conditions. We do have a nice wind from the west-northwest at 9, so certainly make it feel very, very pleasant out there for Halloween. For trick-or-treaters, you can see 63 degrees on Halloween night, so if you are going out there, maybe a light jacket or I guess a lighter jacket costume if you are in costume, of course, for trick-or-treating under mostly clear conditions, so certainly pleasant out there for Halloween. And our future radar pretty much shows a story, not really much across the area, a few clouds, hit or miss clouds tomorrow, but it should be a sunnier day as we get into tomorrow across the Big Bend region. And for our 3-day weather, you can see pretty much nice conditions throughout the entire weekend. You can see Halloween weekend, you can see 68 tomorrow, Saturday, 71 over towards Sunday, and then moving into the mid-70s as we get to or I should say the day after Halloween on Monday. So very nice conditions, and here's Chandler.
That's right. We've been talking about a lot of different things here on FSU Weather. So we'll recap real quick. Currently, our conditions, 63 degrees, so quite beautiful today, 57 in Thomasville. So again, we've been hovering around those 50 to 60 degree marks, quite beautiful for this time of year. Dew points, of course, we're down into those drier, crisper conditions. 52 here in Tallahassee, 43 in Donaldsonville. We can expect some of that to drag its way back down here throughout the next 24 to 48 hours. For tonight's forecast, you can expect 51 as our low here in Tallahassee. And again, a little bit of the mid-50s when you're on the coastline, and a bit cooler conditions up north into South Georgia. For the satellite and radar, we can see a few of those spotty showers across the viewing area, especially once you get down towards the middle of the Florida Peninsula. But again, not affecting our Big Bend viewing region. But a bigger perspective, you can see this cutoff low that's providing a whole lot of moisture for Kentucky, Tennessee, and portions of Georgia and the Carolinas and the Ohio River Valley region. We can also expect to see some snow over in Canada, and again, a longer batch of storms that are providing some drought relief for the northern Rockies and the Northwest Pacific. So great conditions overall, pretty clear and beautiful across the Great Plains and the Southwest. But again, we see this mess here that's going to make its way towards the mid-Atlantic before exiting out of the Atlantic. And for tomorrow's highs, you can expect, again, 70s to 60s in the southeast, so 70 in New Orleans, 58 actually in Atlanta, so even down into the 50s for tomorrow's highs. But then moving on out to the west, you can expect 60s across most of the Rockies, 43 once you get up into Billings. Of course, they're going to see much more cooler conditions with those clouds keeping the sun from heating us up. But that's all I have for you. Now it's time to go over to the desk to talk to Becca and Hannah.
I hope you guys had fun tonight, and we're able to count some spiders on the show. If you were paying attention, I saw a few. I know you pointed out a few. We are going to reveal the final total of our spider count.
11 spiders we saw on the screen tonight. I hope your count got us to the exact same number. That was a lot.
It was a lot. If you missed some of them, feel free to rewatch our episode on YouTube. It's there. Usually it's about 24 hours after this airs, and you can look for all 11 spiders.
That's right. We're going to be seeing those temperatures really nice this weekend. Halloween is going to be a really great one this year.
Absolutely. If you take anything away from this segment, know that it's going to be a little bit cooler, and we hope that you guys are all prepared for those cooler temps.
That's right.
Follow us on Twitter. You can
send us your pictures. Yes, that would be
absolutely
great.
Like us on Facebook.
And also follow us on Instagram and on YouTube. We're going to be watching us here right now. And like I said, follow us on Instagram. Send us those pictures that you have of the beautiful sunsets and weather you have been seeing.
Absolutely. So takeaways from tonight's episode: stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy. It's going to be a little bit chilly this Halloween weekend.
That's right. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween from FSU Weather.